Good. Now, if you notice in your dashboard here, you should have API keys. Do you have API keys here? Now, if you have API keys, just click on API keys. Let's see. Now, this API keys is where your secrets is stored, right? Where your secrets is stored. So, this is your API key here. Can you see your API key here? So, I'm just going to go ahead and copy it. So you can just copy it, copy the key and store it somewhere. Copy this key and store it somewhere. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to install Byte, right? So that you'll be able to store your API key. Now, you know what? Just leave that. Let's leave that first. Leave that first. Just leave it first. Don't worry. So just come here and paste your API key here. Paste it in your script.js. Comment it out. Just paste your API key there first. We done that. Done it. Now, that API key is what gives you access to this particular application. That's what gives you access. Now, in this case, this is their documentation. Now, let us go to API. Why? Because this is exactly what we are interested in. We are interested in using their API for our weather application. Now, if you check this out, they have API docs for different things. Now, you will now go through it and read the one that has the API at the top here. At the top, in this place. Now, you will now go ahead and read it to know the exact doc that suits your own project. Now, looking at this one now, what exactly is this particular doc saying? It says, make an API call to receive access to the various data. Now, what data? Current weather and forecast, weather data for any timestamp, daily aggregation, weather overview, AI assistant, and AI weather assistant. Now, if we move down here, does this fit what we want? Does this fit the current weather and forecast? Right? Current weather, it fits, right? All right. But first of all, don't be in a rush to pick any doc. Go through all the docs. Now, if you check this one is saying that current weather, this is of one core API. Now, this one is saying that current weather. Now, it's saying that access current weather data for any location. We collect and process weather data from different sources, such as global and local weather models, satellites, radars, and a vast network of weather stations. So this is how they collect their weather. Now, the weather, the API is in what? Is in JSON, XML, and HTML format, meaning that it makes it readable for you. You understand what JSON is right now? Now, it's your, this one is very important. Now, between this one and this one, which one do you think qualifies? Try to explain what you want to know better. Between this one and the first one, why is it the second one? Is it the first or the second one? Do you read the second one? Second one. This is the second one. This is the first one. So read it. Again, this is what we want to do. Location, Lagos. Lagos, search. This is everything I want to do. Now, which of those things tries to satisfy this particular project? Which of these docs satisfy it? Second one, is why I said that you should not be in a hurry to pick any doc. Now, also, still go ahead and check other ones out. Now, this one is hourly forecast, 4 days. So, hourly forecast is available for 4 days. If you don't need this, you don't need this, you don't need this. Road. So, in case you want to, like, if you're on Google Map now, you see that there's a place that you see red, you see yellow, right? Red means that there's traffic, or there's risk on the road. Yellow means that there's just a little bit of traffic. You understand? Then the other color is like it's actually a free road. Now, that's what this road risk is. So you can go ahead and choose it probably for any particular document. But what we want to use is what this one. So we go ahead and click on API weather data. Now, if you click on it, see how the documentation is. Yeah, already explained to you. This is how we call this API. So they are saying that what access current weather data for any location on Earth. We collect and process that. That's the concept. Now, call current weather data. This is how you call it. So how to make an API call. The API call is to have what your API.openweathermap.org. This is the API link. Then your API key. You understand? Which is this. So what are they saying? You're going to have your if you want to use longitude and latitude, you include it there. If you want to use API key, you include it there. The longitude and latitude is not for you to decide. You cannot the longitude, like you know the latitude of anywhere you get. So it's not like just for generic. So if you want to like include latitude, maybe you are very, very good at calculating all of those things. Now include those correct coordinates. Automatically, what you're trying to say, you want to get the latitude of a particular place in the US. But that's not what we want to do. What we want to do is that we want to use text-based section to get this particular. So we will not really need the longitude and latitude, but let us leave it. Now these are the parameters, right? So as you can see, you have the parameters here. You have one of the parameters which is latitude, another parameter which is longitude. Now, but we don't need that. These are some of the parameters that are here again. So we have app ID, which carries your API. We have the mode, you have units. Now, what unit are we using here? Let's see if you remember physics. Physics is here. What temperature unit are we using here? Celsius, right? Good. Now, that's exactly what this thing is saying. There are units saying that what you want to measure now, units of measurement. So you want to have what standard, metric, and imperial units are available. So what is it saying? Are you going to be calculating in standard units, metric unit, or imperial unit? Now your standard unit, I think standard. Let's get more. What we have now for Fahrenheit. Now for temperatures in Fahrenheit, use imperial. If you want to use Fahrenheit units, what are you going to use? Imperial. If you want to use temperatures in Celsius, what are you going to use? Metric. Now the standard is what? Kelvin. You understand? So how do you use this? This is how you use it. So you have so scroll backward. Now, so you scroll backward, you can just have metric in this place. Now, you know what? First of all, let us just copy this API link here before we get started. So I'm gonna have this as our guide. So we'll paste it here. Now I'm just going to go ahead and now we're not going to have our API key. So I'm going to say const API key equals to what? So I'm going to copy this particular API key that we have here, and I'm going to paste it here. Right? Then we're also going to have our URL, API URL. So we're going to have what? Const API URL, right? Equals to what? Now we're not going to have what? API key that we have here. So I'm just going to like, this. Let's just copy this. Hey. Now we have our API key and we are good to go. So again, we have the two things that we need to get our application started. So what is the first thing? The first thing is your API key. Second thing is your API URL. I hope everybody's getting this. Is it clear to us? Is it clear? All right, and let us move on. So now, move on, and then we'll check their API call. Now, check out the JSON format API response. Check it out. What do you have here? You have the coordinates for your what? Longitude and latitude. Now, this is an object. This one is even an object. It's not like the one that we have arrayed. So now, in this object, what do you have? You have your coordinates, right? And your coordinates, you have your longitude and you have your latitude. But we're not using it, so you can leave that. You have weather. Now, in your weather now have all right, so let's continue. Now, in this case, we have our main. Now, this main is where your temperature is. Meaning that if you want to get the main now, how do we get it? Main dot temperature dot inner HTML. So you can have temperature dot inner HTML equals what? Main dot temperature. Please, I need to know if somebody's understanding what I'm saying. I'll come again. Look at the format, JSON format that we have here. What is the JSON format here? You have your coordinates. Are we using coordinates? No. Now, in the weather that is here, right? You have the ID, you have the name, you have the description. But let us leave that. Now, in the main, what do you have here? You have what? Temperature. This is one of the things that we will need. Now, to get the value of this temperature, how do you get the value of this temperature? Main dot what? Temp. Why? Main is an object. You understand? Since main is an object, to get the value of an object is what? That particular object dot the value of the object. That's what main dot temp. To get the humidity, just like we wanted to get, how do you get it? Main dot humidity. So we've gotten two things already like this. So we have Lagos. We've gotten two things like this: the temperature and then it was the humidity. So to get the temperature is what? Main dot temp. To get the humidity is what? To get the humidity is what? Main dot humidity. You understand? Now, to get the wind speed will not be what? Looking at it, do you see wind speed here? Is there wind speed here? Eh? No, in your main, is there wind speed here? Eh? Good. But where is wind? Wind is here. And this is the speed. So to get the speed of the wind, and that's what wind dot what? Speed. So those are the three things that we actually need. First is what? You have your what? Your main dot temp, you have your what? Main dot humidity, and then you have your what? Main dot heat. Now let us just write it down so that we don't forget. So I'm just going to like comment it out. So you're gonna have what? Main dot what? Temp. Main dot temp. We're going to have main dot humidity. Then we're going to have what? Speed. Wind dot what? Speed. You understand? So this is everything that we needed. Now, before we move on, what exactly do we need? This is the API key, right? In this API key, we basically do not need what? Latitude. We do not need longitude, right? All we need is what? Our app ID and then this particular what? Weather API. Isn't that what we need? Now, in fact, in this case, we really don't need to put our app ID here. I'll show you what I'm saying later on. What exactly do we need in this place? They showed us the parameters that are here. And out of all these parameters, which one did I say that we are really going to need? Again, don't need the latitude, you don't need the longitude. The app ID that has your API, you don't need it here. Now, which parameters are we now going to need? The unit, right? Why are we needing the unit? Who wants to help us out? Temperature. You understand? Because temperature has a unit. And if you check this place, when we said Lagos, right here, what do you have? You have what? 32 degrees Celsius. So we need this unit. Now, the unit has three types. You have what? Celsius, you have Fahrenheit, and you have Kelvin. Now, your open weather API does not understand Celsius, Fahrenheit, or Kelvin. What does it understand? I'm going to open it up again so you see it. What it understands is, let us learn more. What you understand is what? Standard, metric, and what? Imperial. The standard is what? Your Kelvin. So temperature in Kelvin is used by default. So that means that's the standard. For temperatures in what? Celsius, use what unit? Metric. That means what are we going to be using? Metric. Fahrenheit is for what? Imperial. We need imperial. No, we need what? Metric. That means what are we going to be doing? We are going to say unit equals to what? Metric. Is it clear? What else is it clear to us? We don't need Kelvin. Do we need Kelvin? No, we don't need Kelvin. We don't need Kelvin because what we're trying to display is what? Celsius. Now, automatically, we convert it, so we don't need to do that conversion of 270 plus something or 270 minus something. You don't need that conversion. Convert it for you. You understand? Now, after converting it, what exactly do we have? We're going to have what? The unit of what? Metric for Celsius. How to play to us? Is it clear? For Celsius. Now, again, we'll not just write it like that. Go up. Check this place out. If you wanted to use latitude equals to lat, how do we use it? Latitude equals to what? Then you put your bracket. Similarly, if you want to do the same thing, we can now go ahead and say, so in this place, where is it? Yeah, so we can remove latitude here. I remove the API here. Now in this place, I cannot say units equals to what? Metric. So we've added the first parameter. First parameter is what? Units metric equals to metric. Why? Why are we using metric? Because we want our units to be what? Celsius. Good. Now the next thing that we're going to add is okay. Now why are we removing latitude and longitude? Because we do not want to get user details through the what? Longitude and latitude. We want to get user details through what? A search query. Right? What am I saying? You have a search query in this place. You have a search query in this place. You want to get user data using this search query and not by what? Not by longitude and latitude. Who has time to start calculating the longitude and latitude of US or of California or Los Angeles? You understand? Nobody has that time. You just want to start what? Los Angeles or California. I think that's it. Or New York. You understand? You don't want to start them. Understand? Yes. So we don't want to do that with longitude and latitude. Now, if we removed searching through longitude and latitude, how exactly are we now going to search for this? What's the name? For these states or cities. Now, we're going to come back to the doc to see if we have something like that. Now, if you come down here, let's see if you have it. So now, can you see Q here? What does Q mean? Now, if you check this place, what do you have? You have the open weather API key. Is everybody following? Open weather API key. Then you have Q. Now, Q equals to what? Can you see city name, state code, country code? This is everything about Q. Meaning that anything that makes you use Q is good what you can easily search all of these things. You can search by the city name, you can search by the state code, or you can search by the what? Country code. Do you understand now? That means your Q is your query. Query to what? That's your search query. So instead of using longitude and latitude, what are you just using? Your Q. So we can say Q equals to city, right? Your city name. But we don't want to what be specific here. We'll just state Q because the only thing I want to be able to search is what? City name. I don't want to be setting things like just like what city name. So how exactly am I going to do this? All I have to do is come to my weather app. So in my weather app, I can just have after my matrix, I can just have what and Q equals to. So we can just leave it like this. Now this equals to saying that it can have multiple words. It can have any what's the name? Set parameter. Do you understand it? Is it clear to us? Yeah? Is it clear? Mr. Samuel. I wish it's clear. Everybody's looking at me like Jesus Christ. Okay. Micro. So now the Q gets what the city name. Also help you get the state code, country code, divided by what? Comma. Leave that. It's not important. Now, in this case, the API response should be able to return in the same language as the language of the present location. Location name. If the location is a what? Predefined list of more than 200,000 locations. So they have over 200,000 locations that I can search for. And accurate. Now, this is everything that you need. So in our app ID, your API URL here, what do you have? You have your unit equals to what? Metric. And then you have your Q equals to what? This. This is everything that you need. Is this clear to us? Is this clear to us? Please, I need responses. I don't like it when people are silent. It's clear to everybody. Hey. I just said it. I said we don't want to have a strict way of searching. We want to find out in our code. Now, in this place, what you have is you have city name, state code, and country. If I just put city name here now, that means it is not giving that flexibility to create functionality for my search button. And I have to start searching through what's the name through this link. So what am I saying? Let me show you what I'm saying. If I copy this link here now, right, and I come here, let us just paste it here. Now, this is saying city name, right? Let's put Lagos. Now, I'll remove the others here. And let me use my API. Okay. Invalid API key. Now, as you can see, I use what? Lagos, right? So for my Lagos now, this is the coordinate of this is the longitude and latitude of Lagos. This is the current weather. Cloud, meaning that it's a little bit what's the name? It's not sunny, you understand? It's cloudy. Then check the temperature, 304 Kelvin. No, originally standard is Kelvin. Forget. It is when we now change it to metric. So I cannot come here and I can still say unit equals to what? Metric. And again. So now if you check it out now, you will now have that's weird. I'm coming. Sorry. Unit. Okay, I use unit. Units. Now let us check units. Now, as you can see, that's converted this into what? To metric. That's Celsius. You understand? Now, why am I doing this? I'm doing this for you to show that right now, if I just put city name there, it's not giving me that much functionality. Like, it's not going to like, of course, you can do it, but it becomes harder for me to like connect it to my what's name, my functions. Yes, I have to have it set. So I don't want to be doing it through the link. No, I want to do it through my work, my search, what's it, my search history. I want to do it through this thing here and not through my system. That's why I'm leaving it empty. So that I can now in turn pass my functionality to my work, to my search function. Do you get it now? That's why I'm leaving it empty here. So now as you can see, we have the open weather API here. You can check out the temperature. You can see how Lagos looks like here. Now, this is even how we can let's just use it. Let's use this as our JSON format. Now, so you can also have cloud, you can have country. As you can see, the country is where? Nigeria, right? So let's check automatically. You just know that it's Nigeria. Let us check Portuguese Lagos. Let's check correct spelling. I want to actually check the spelling to see if I can use the spelling to see if I want to get it. But you can also leave it. Is in the Algarve region. So let us check this and let's see what we have. So if I change this from Lagos to this place now, same Brazil, but it should be in Portugal. All right, but what other city we have? We have Madeira. Okay, let us check Madrid. So you can check different places. You can check Madrid, or let us check Catalonia. A city not found. As you can see, you have a message that city is not found. Some have Catalonia instead. So let us check it out. Now this place should be in Spain, Espanol. Now as you can see, you have different temperatures for it. Now this is how you can search for all of. Now this is what we are going to be using. But in this case, we don't need to use the API key. All we need to use is what unit metric and what the query. But now the query has to be empty so that you should be able to search for the query with the search box and not from here. Is it clear? You understand why we are not using it now? Good. Let us go ahead and start searching and start working on it. Now, basically, I think we are done with everything here. We really don't need it again. We don't need this. We are done with everything here. So we can go ahead and start writing our code. Now, what do we need? What is going to have the most effect in our code? So if you check here, our search bar is going to have a lot of what's the name? Our search bar is going to have functionality, right? We're going to have search bar, search button, right? Or let's say search input, search button. Let me just I'll write that later. Then I'm going to have what? Temperature unit. We're also going to have what? City name, right? We're going to have humidity. Then we're going to have humidity name. We're going to have wind speed, and we're going to have what? Wind name. Do you get it now? So we need how many things? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Do you understand? Is it clear? Is it clear? All right. So let us continue. So I'm not going to bring them into my JavaScript so you can see it. So the first is we're going to have the search input, which is what ID of search. So I can now have what const search. Let's say search input equals to what document dot query selector select the hash search, right? So we're also going to have what the search btn. Where's the search btn? This one that says what ID of what btn. So we're going to have that also, right? So we'll leave error first, come back to error later. Then we're going to have degree. Your degree is your what? Your unit. Temperature scale, right? This is what we're going to have. So we can now go ahead and say const degree equals to what? Document dot what? Query selector. Then we're going to have what? Degree. The next one is what? Location, which is going to be our city name. So location have got Lagos, Instagram, Abuja, a lot of them. So we can have it here. Then the next one is going to be our humidity, which is this. Which is this here. Our humidity. That's the humidity name. I'm also going to have what? The wind or the wind speed. You understand? So we can go ahead and what? We can add it here. So we're going to have humidity. Then we're going to have what? Wind. Now this is everything that we need for now. Hope everybody understands this. Let us just bring in errors. We can have const error. Yes, so we have okay, we need to bring this in. So we're gonna have const count humidity. Thank you. So document a query selector. We cannot say count instead of humidity. Count. No, let me just write humidity. Humidity, right? Then we're going to also add wind speed. So we're going to say count wind speed. Good. So we're just going to have wind speed. No, is it wind speed? Yeah, wind speed. So this is it. So this is everything that we need. 1, 2, 3. Sorry? Yes, I can choose one of them. So now we have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Then plus our error, we have what? 9. I hope it gets everybody. So we can move on now. Now, the next thing that we're working on is we're working on our function. So because of our time, we'll not be doing this. So far, does everybody understand this? Try it out. That's why I say, but you can code along now. Nobody, you've not been coding along since. You've been writing code too. Yeah. Go ahead and write JavaScript first. Write JavaScript first. Add your search input. You don't need to do CSS. Add your search input in HTML. The button. That's all you need. Then you can create fields for the humidity. And now, see what I'm saying? Go ahead and create the fields for everything. So you have your search button. You have your search input, your search button. You have your units. You have Lagos. You can go ahead and do this later. So, but just write JavaScript first. You understand? So you don't need to worry about CSS. Okay. So now, let's continue. Now, what are we going to do now? What exactly are we going to do? I mean, first of all, does everybody understand what we are doing here? Is it clear to you? Clear to you? That's how much clear. Uh, our boss, Ebenezer, is it clear to you? Is it clear to you? All right. So move on. Now, what exactly do we want to have? So now if you check here, what we want to have is that we want to be able to check the weather. We want to have a function that allows us to check the weather of any location, right? And what parameter are we getting? The parameter we're getting is what? City. So you are checking whether to the what? Through the city. Now you see what I'm talking about now. What parameter are we going to give? We're going to get parameter trees. Now, what are we going to be searching for? We're going to be searching for the API URL plus the what? The city. So what this means is that what we're going to be having this API URL that we'll put here plus the what? Plus city. Now, the reason why you have this plus city is because let me just show you what the result is going to be. So I'm going to copy this. Now, if you have API URL, right? Sorry. If you have API URL plus city will now mean what? City. Why is it like this? So I explained concatenation to us, didn't I? And I said concatenation is what? String, addition of strings. So if you have string 1 plus string 2, how will you add it together? So the answer is not going to be what? String 1, string 2. Do you understand? Okay, let me remove this. Again, if you have string 1 plus string 2, what will be the answer? Answer will not be what? String 1, string 2. That's exactly why this Q equals to what? City automatically join. Do you understand it now? Because what exactly we're trying to search for is what? City. So I say API URL plus city, then what? Plus the app ID, which is going to be what? This where is it? API key, which is